Look at that Tacodile. Oh my goodness. So what's happened is this invention now has changed the whole world. Like animals are turning into food, or food's turning into animals. And you got things like talking pickles and all this crazy stuff. And I got to tell you, this movie, when I saw this movie, it's one of those movies that, well, as an adult, you think you might not want to see it, but it is so funny and it's so cute, especially if you're with kids. It is just a blast and a lot of fun. So I thought what we'd do today is try to make a Tacodile. What do you think of that? So you saw the Tacodile with all the ingredients in it. Well, we're going to try and make one right now. And these recipes were given to me by the movie studio, Sony. And they gave me a bunch of them, but the Tacodile one looked like it's pretty good. Boy, look at that nice olive oil, huh? It looks pretty good. And they're really a healthy kind of recipe too. Like these Tacodiles only have about a 1/4 pound of ground meat in them. And the big part of the taco filling is mushrooms. So we got about a 1/4 pound of nice lean beef in there. That's going to give it a little texture and a little flavor. And then we're going to use mushrooms. So I want you to see these mushrooms. I'm supposed to cut these into a 1/4 inch dice, so you can sort of see what they look like, right? They're like half mushrooms. So to make it easy on ourselves, I decided to use the old Cuisinart, and I'm just going to pulse it. So you don't turn it on because you'll have mushroom mush. But this way, you end up with a little bit of a dice. Okay, pretty easy, huh? I'm going to take that out of here. Now you don't want to cook the blade, so you take the blade out like that. And that's how we're going to make, so that's 1.5 pounds of mushrooms. So you get the ones that are cut in half, save you some time, and you do it the way I just did it. Now here's the thing. I actually tried this recipe because it looked so crazy. I didn't know if it was going to work, and I don't want to turn you guys on to a waste of time. So I'm telling you right now, this thing does work. And what's going to happen is this is going to cook down, and what we're going to use is, we've got 4 tablespoons of chili powder here. And I'm going to put about 3 of it in here, and this is what gives it the flavor. Now when you buy the chili powder, make sure you don't buy the kind that says it's hot. If it says it's medium hot, it's probably hot. Just buy regular chili powder, and don't be afraid to use the 4 tablespoons that the recipe calls for. Okay, so that's going to cook like that for a while. Let's go ahead and let that do that. And we're going to need another thing in this recipe, and it's cabbage. So what I did is I went to the store and I got this shredded cabbage. It's like, they call it confetti cabbage. It's white, and it's real thin and it's real tender. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to put a couple tablespoons, about 3 tablespoons of lime juice in it. And I told you I like that Sicilian lime juice too, so I'm going to use some of that. I'm going to put a little lime juice in there like that. And then a couple tablespoons of cilantro. Let's toss that around. So that's going to be sort of like the dressing on the bottom of our Tacodile. Yeah, so believe me, if you got some kids, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, kids, you got to go see this movie because it is really a lot of fun. Okay, so now this is supposed to cook. See how it's getting a little color? Now this is supposed to cook about 5 minutes. We don't have 5 minutes to cook that, but here's what you do. After that's cooked for about 5 minutes, see how it's starting to look like tacos a little bit, huh? You take it out of the pan, and then you take a whole onion, which translates to 2 cups of onions. Okay, you put that back on the fire. You take the 2 cups of onions, so I did the same thing. I made big chunks of onions, I put it in the Cuisinart, and that's how I got my nice little dice going there. So these you're going to cook for another 3 or 4 minutes. Put the rest of our chili powder in them. If I don't say my THs, boy, my teachers will call me if they can still walk and talk. There we go. Meanwhile, I want to say hello to all the ladies I saw out at Beachmont Country Club yesterday from the temple. We had a nice time, nice luncheon out there. Got a chance to talk about movies and travel and all that kind of stuff. Talked a little bit about cooking, so I told them about my Tacodiles, and they were laughing at me, so here they are, ladies. We're actually making them. Okay, so you got that like that. You cook that for 3 or 4 minutes. Then you put the mushroom meat mixture back in. And a couple tablespoons of garlic. Turn up the heat. Let that baby rock and roll for about 4 minutes. And we're going to have a pretty nice filling here. So let's clean up the shop. Get some of this junk out of the way. Things are cooking here. Because it's time to bring in Miss Natalie. I've got a plate for her here. Look at that, huh? Look good? I'm gonna put that plate there. And I got a plate for me. This is the taco.
Oh, that's not fair. I want that plate. Come on, you know I like to eat.
That's how we roll, kid. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna bring this over here because in here is what the mixture looks like when it's all done.
Ooh. That looks like meat. I mean, if you have to look closely to notice that it's
My son
mushrooms.
Adam, who's like 18, he's like sort of picky. I had him taste this yesterday. Loved it. Thought it was great.
So you do have to like mushrooms for this meal, right?
Yeah, I think so. But you know, it's got some great flavors in it. So I've got some. I'm gonna do this like this.
So many people ask me on our trip to
Here's
Mexico
yours.
if I love the food, if I love everything as much as I appear to love it when I taste it. And I honestly do, especially when it comes to his food.
Well, you're very
There's
kind.
never anything bad.
So here's what we're gonna do. Here's how you do this. I'll get this one started for
Okay.
you, and then you can dress it up. So you put a couple tablespoons of the cabbage mixture on there with the lime juice, which is really good. And then you usually don't like tomatoes, but you said these kind of are okay in a taco.
I can eat that
huh?
on a taco. Yep, go
Okay,
ahead,
so
put
then you
that
put
on there.
that like that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put a whole lot on there. And then I'm gonna put some of this.
Oh, does that look good?
Okay? Mm-hmm. And then take that. I'm gonna put a little bit of,
You just saved it. I'm sitting here looking at this earlier, and I thought, you know, I would love a little sour cream to add onto this.
okay, now I got some stuff there. So go ahead and
Okay.
make them the way you like them, and I'm gonna make the rest of these. So I've got some nice red sauce out there, green sauce. So that's what you do, folks. When you make this at home, you get all this stuff out and let the kids sort of have some fun with it, right?
Just like me. I'm just like one of the kids, having a little fun here.
You
Oh,
are like
that
one of the
looks
kids.
good.
I gotta tell you, folks, do we have fun in Mexico or what?
So much fun. It was beyond fun.
It was like being with one of the kids.
But you know what? I was down there, and they're making they're making a lot of great Mexican food, but I swear yours would definitely compare.
See, so we got a nice taco there like that. Now yours looks beautiful.
I added a lot.
Oh.
Go figure.
You're rocking it, kid. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I guess we're gonna wrap this thing up. And you know, while we're talking about mushrooms, we've got somebody on the show today that grows mushrooms, and he's gonna teach us a little bit more about them. So that's gonna be a lot of fun, and that's coming up right after the break. And what do you think? It's spicy, huh?
It's spicy.
It's got texture.
I love it.
You like it, huh?
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love
I
it.
tell you, my picky kid said, it's good, so it's gotta be good.
It's healthy.
It's a Tacodile. It's supposed to be healthy.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. Right after the break, we'll see some more mushrooms.